It's a good afternoon from Kalgoorlie. Michael Heaton here with Crashane Warren, and it's the last three races of the program. Crashane, pretty cold here in the Goldfields as well, but luckily the rain's been able to stay away. What are your thoughts for this race we're about to look at?
Yeah, afternoon to you, Michael, and also our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience at home there. Look, I thought the last three legs on the card are very difficult to assess. There's some good chances around a few of them, and I think they're quite open races, the last three.
They certainly look that way. Favourite or second favourite, Build the Bee, was home in the first leg of the quaddie. Let's look at the field though. They are now in the yard. Horse 1, Honest Legend, is one of a few runners for Peter Fernie engaged here. Braden Garth is off, and we have replacement rider Cassie Martinen taking over for this horse.
Yeah, looks well in the coat, very shiny, number 1. He went up $8.50 with Tab Touch, Michael, on Friday. Honest Legend, likely leader in the race. He's been consistent at his last two starts. He does drop back from the 1400, which I think would suit. And if he's not taken on in the lead, I thought he'd run a really good race out in front, number 1, Honest Legend.
Apologies, Cassie Martinen is on number 10 for John Lugg, Keep Your Feet. Brandon Louis is the replacement rider for Braden Garth, who's no longer riding today, isn't able to claim here in the Goldfields. Horse 2, Flober, hasn't raced since being a really impressive winner 21 days ago. Nick Thomas is the trainer, and Lakdar Rumley retains the ride.
Yeah, the chestnut there, and walking around quite relaxed with those red earmuffs on, and looks like he's come on from that maiden win last time out, and that was in quick time. In actual fact, he recorded the quickest time of the day, and it was in a maiden, Flober. So, look, I think he's one that would need to lead and be free running, Flober, and look, might not see that today, but he's definitely one to follow. I think he's got a bit of upside, Flober.
What about the 3, Made My Way? Has opened $3.80, touched $4.20 at one stage, but is now into $3.90. Ricky Brown and Keshel Duran.
Yeah, with the clerk of the course, she doesn't stand that tall, but she does have a heart. She won well last start, sat back midfield on the rail, got off and out coming into the straight, and it was a good ride by Michael Poy. She's in good form, Made My Way, does go up in the weights, but has gate 1 to offset that. So still needs luck in running, but one of the main chances, number 3.
And as you were speaking then, $3.90 to $3.60, so it's shortened Made My Way. 4, Captain Rogers has gone the other way, $15 to 20 to 1. Blinkers go on though for Ash Grace, who is looking for a race-to-race double, and Jordan Turner's in the saddle.
Yeah, he's a big horse, a bit fired up with the blinkers on. Second run in the state, was held up last start, and blinkers again applied to sharpen him up. Drawn bad, but can possess gate speed. Another one that needs luck.
The 5, Charcoal Chaos, is placed at Kalgoorlie previously. Good run last start for Dan and Ben Pearce, who have already prepared a winner today. And Natasha Faithful is in the saddle, and she's already ridden a winner today.
Yeah, it was a better run at Northern, Michael, and its previous 2 runs at this track were only fair, suggesting the track may not have suited. But one thing in her favour is that she has travelled up today, so I think with that under its belt, she's worth another go today.
How's the money for this horse? The 6, Fiendish, prepared by Nev Newton, opened up 20 to 1, now into $6. This has been a sustained go, no scratchings in this race. Has steadily been getting further and further supported into 8, $7.50, $6.50, now $6. Lisa Staple rides from barrier 2.
Yeah, it's a big move. Better barrier draw today for Fiendish. For mine, the form has been up and down at the last 3 runs back in, but admittedly hasn't drawn a gate at all, and he does today. So look, he doesn't want to get too far back from an inside gate, but a chance.
Last start winner is our 7, Hole in One. Clint Johnson Porter was initially the rider, and for our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience who are just joining us, replacement rider is Chris Parnham. Unfortunately, Clint fell ill with a migraine yesterday at Belmont, is off his rides today. Peter Fernie's the trainer.
Yeah, looks well. Made a mess of them last time out, sat back and came to the outside in the straight and really flattened out to score impressively Hole in One. And looks like one that keeps improving, definitely in the coat and in the back. So the back end of the horse, very athletic type of horse, Hole in One, and I thought he'd be hard to beat again.
Kelly's Lazulu has the blinkers going on today. Has been around the mark so far this campaign. David Smith and Victoria Corver combined.
Yeah, agree. She hasn't been far away at her last 3 runs. She's only small. The blinkers get applied today and can show gate speed. But look, if she ever found the front, allowed to roll along, she'd be hard to beat. But we need to see that, and maybe not today.
Big drift, the 9, We Wonder Why. Went up $18, is now out to 70-1 for Paul Tapper and Christy Bennett.
Yeah, won her maiden 2 starts back over this trip, then didn't jump well last start and finished 10 of 11. Badly drawn, others better.
And the final runner, 10, Keep Your Feet. It's been a little bit out of form, this horse. John Lugg and Cassie Martin, and takes off 2 kilos.
Yeah, given a bit of a sprint up in the preliminary. He comes back to the 1200 sharply from the mile. Appears tested for mine.
Just before we grab your first 4 selections, Chrishane, we'll check in on this market. The favourite is 7, Hole in One, the last start winner for Peter Fernie and Chris Parnham. $4.60 into $3.40. Made My Way is still solid at $3.60, in from $3.80. Flober is $4.60 out to $5. Fiendish has been specced at really good odds. $21 into $6. $8.50 into $7.50 for Honest Legend. And then we're upwards the remainder, $6 to $9 for Charcoal Chaos, $9 to $14 for Kelly's the Zulu. Captain Rogers is 15 out to 20-1. Keep Your Feet 30-1, and We Wonder Why 70-1. Do you agree with this support for 7, Hole in One?
Somewhat there, Michael. I boxed them 1, 7, 2 and 3. I thought it was very hard to assess, especially the mapping of the race, and we now have that crosswind that's been in effect most of the afternoon. One Honest Legend on top, albeit not with much confidence, but I thought it was going to be the one that would lead. Flober has gate speed and may originally take up the running, but I thought Honest Legend would march to the top here from barrier number 5 and with the big weight. Honest Legend, I thought 7, Hole in One is going to be back in the ruck and will need to get to the outside again to make ground. Chris Parnham aboard. Flober, I thought if Honest Legend wasn't in the race, I'd have Flober on top here because I thought it's got upside and gate speed, and would love to see this horse lead one day and find the rail. 3, Made My Way, the early favourite. There's not much of her, but she's got a heart, and definitely she's in good form, so keep backing mares when they're in form, and she's a last start winner in good time. So I thought it was a tricky race leading into race 5 out of Kalgoorlie. The Tab Touch handicap, 1 Honest Legend on top from 7, Hole in One, 2 Flober and 3 Made My Way. They're at the gates.
Each way play for Chrishane here, 1, 7, 2 and 3 Honest Legend. Chrishane, their breeze has really picked up here. We mentioned how cold it was. It looks as though it's a day that you want to have a bit of cover. I don't think we've seen a on-pace horse kick away yet today.
I think there was one leader,
Love Drunk Baby.
Love Drunk Baby, who took it up the running and did kick away. We have seen a few winners though, Michael. You are right. Just covered up with a bit of cover behind the speed. Bill the Bee, one of them, and also Laughing Buddha earlier on. So look, that crosswind, I'm not sure if it's totally in effect here at this track, but you know, you still have to be up on the speed on the home turn to warrant any respect. And with that rail again out to the 4 metre, good 4. It plays to be up on the speed, especially on the race over the short course over 1200 like this.
Well, Chrishane's got an each way play here. Honest Legends thinks that he'll be able to find the front, and you're getting the right price to find out. Out to $8 now is Honest Legend, as Made My Way now goes into 8 outright favouritism. $3.80 into $3.60. Hole in One just out to $3.70, and Flober Unwanted $4.60 out to $6.50. This is the second leg of the traditional quaddie. Royce Newton is calling all of the action here in the Goldfields. Here he is for the call of race 5.
Michael, thanks. Chrishane, as runners coming forward well here for the running of race number 5. The Tab Touch handicap, Flober to come forward the last start. Maiden winner. Lakhdar Ramoli sticks with this 3-year-old winning Rupert Gelding, who was impressive last start. So Flober to come forward with Captain Rogers as well, which will just leave the top weight Honest Legend and also Charcoal Chaos. Thanks, Stu. Tab Radio on board now as well, and the majority of these runners locked away as Honest Legend goes forward. Here comes Charcoal Chaos. Punters undecided in terms of who they want to send out favourite. It will be Made My Way 360 ahead of Hole in One at 370. Host of other chances engaged to us. Charcoal Chaos goes forward. And we're set over at the 1200. Race number 5. Stand by. Gates fly back. They're off racing. Now Fiendish out the back door together with We Wonder Why and Captain Rogers going back as well. It was Kelly's Lisa Lou together with Honest Legend who stride together. They got the best of the start. Flowbar with his head up in the air is going to settle down in third as Ramoli just tries to get him back underneath him. They were followed next of all by the favourite Made My Way. Charcoal Chaos next and then Captain Rogers just caught a shade wide. Fiendish just worse than midfield together with also on the outside Keep Your Feet. Also there Hole in One. He'll be saved up for an explosive turn of foot, and last of all We Wonder Why. So it's Honest Legend who shows the way by a half a length. Running second on the outside Kelly's Lisa Lou. Made My Way has had a nice run third. Flowbar starts to extricate now, followed by Captain Rogers who's been wide throughout. Then Fiendish well back to Charcoal Chaos. Here's Hole in One down the outside. Further back to Keep Your Feet together with We Wonder Why inside the final 200. And it's Honest Legend responding from Kelly's Lisa Lou. Then Fiendish Made My Way needs to get into the clear. It's Honest Legend with a winning break past the 50. And Honest Legend, the top weight, goes on and wins. Second in Made My Way. Third Hole in One. Fourth Captain Rogers. They were followed by Fiendish. Then came Kelly's Lisa Lou, Charcoal Chaos, Flowbar, Keep Your Feet, and well back was We Wonder Why. Well, the top weight from Go to Woe pickup ride here for Brandon Louis. Had to do a little bit of work to gain an outright lead early on in the race as Kelly's Lisa Lou jumped with it, put a little bit of pressure on, but at the top of the straight, Honest Legend kept fighting, and at its third starting, Kalgoorlie breaks through on the surface here. 1 into the frame, 3 gets second. That's Made My Way, who was pretty luckless until the 100-metre pole, maybe even further down the straight when trying to find room. Third in will be the 7, that is Hole in One, who was well back, has unleashed nicely to the line, and 4, Captain Rogers, gets fourth. 1, 3, 7 and 4 after the running of the Tab Touch handicap. Honest Legend for Peter Fernie and Brandon Louis by not a single doubt from Ziona, owned by Andrew Ingles, Zach Ingles and Al Ingles, has brought up its first win at the track. Its second overall from 10 starts. Second across the line was 3, mate.
Off, but Brandon's done a good job there, well rated and kicked away.
Yeah, he's done a really good job, Brandon. It was a good ride. I thought we started him in a 14 last week and we liked him, and he didn't go that well. He got a bit luck, so we dropped him back to a 12, and he's done really well. He's done a good job. They put a fair bit of pressure on him early and he kicked away late.
Does he give you the impression that he'll want a little bit further behind the scenes then?
We were just going off what he done in Melbourne, so we just stepped him up to the 14, but maybe he's a 1,200-metre horse, and that's all he is, 12 or 13.
Andrew Ingles is having a pretty good run with these tried purchases that he's been purchasing over the past 12, 18 months.
Oh, some of them, we don't see them all.
There are a few slow ones behind the scenes.
Yeah, plenty of them.
What about the rest of the program? You have a few runners represented in both race 6 and 7. Is there a pick for each of those 2 races?
Oh, I think Niarchi's going to be a good each-way bet. Next, I think he's a good chance.
Okay, Nahachi goes around at $6. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Peter Fernie looking well, training well, and Honest Legend leads all of the way to kick away and win at good odds here. On top selection for Shane Warren. Our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience are off to the next at Singapore.